Welcome to Des Rose Radio.
Okay, welcome to Des Rose Radio Show. I'm your host, Desert, and it is 2 a.m. here on the West Coast. I was watching the Ferguson stuff on Twitter, Ustream, and through Facebook, and I was kind of upset because I noticed, just like when I was watching the debates, they were like taking down everybody's videos. And they were also blocking a lot of the hashtags that said Ferguson on them. They couldn't do them all, but that thing should have been going fast, and it was like everybody was being blocked. It was frustrating, and I found it really scary because it almost seems like just this summer, suddenly the censorship on the internet is pretty bad. Like, it's just all being censored out, and it's making me doubt, like, how social media is changing. So I don't like that. So it's just I don't know, it's something about the thought of that is just bothering me. Like the whole, unless I'm just seeing it now and it's been happening and it's not like a sudden thing, but it seems like it's sudden. But you know what? I just realized I don't feel well at all. I'm trying to figure out, like, what did I do? This is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that the medication they put me on in May is wearing off. That's what I'm thinking. So that's why I said this show is 80% personal, because it's going to be just about me. Talk about me and my needs, okay? The things I want and my needs and what I'm planning. Okay, so I woke up today and it's been a long time, actually a very long time since I felt depressed, and this depression was really bad, and I just woke up and I couldn't figure it out, like, what's wrong with me? And then it dawned on me, because I haven't felt that way in a long time, and my problem is if I get upset or get hurt, like my feelings hurt or anything like that, it affects me physically, and so it's very difficult for me to get there, So when I get there, I have to be careful because it messed my whole body up, and it's only because of stress. Like, I have no stress tolerance, and that's just the way it is. It's been for like the last 7 years. So I try very hard to live as stress-free as I can, even though everything I do is stress. Everything you do in life, whether it's going groceries, taking care of bills, taking care of your home, your family, or whatever, it's all stress. But I try to keep it somewhat positive stress, so I use a lot of my art to get this out, going to the gym and exercising. But today was really bad, and I was like, what is going on? I feel like crap. My body doesn't want to do anything and nothing. So I think it's the medication is wearing off, which kind of makes sense. My appointment's not until next week, which hits the mark of, making the decision for my next step with this thing I've been dealing with. So I think maybe it's my iron too. Because I haven't had to take iron since May, at the end of May, which was awesome. And I was feeling back to normal, and I was feeling like a normal human being again, and having more energy. And now I feel like, damn, this is how I've been living all those years? So it's kind of one of those things. But while I got caught up in this, and I know people have this in their lives, you just, something, okay, well, let me backtrack. So I've been listening a lot to the politics. I've been researching the stuff, reading the news from different sites, getting angry with some of the people in the comments, and trying not to rant on there, because I find comments irritating when it comes to every single thing that I just picture these people almost like we do on here on Spreaker or other things, where someone has to comment all the time. And so on the comments on the bottom, every single news article, it's the same people. Oh, I feel for these people. Oh, but it's like they all just say these things just to say them. It's almost like a repetition. And then you see the negative comments blaming they're blaming Obama or something else, for something that has absolutely nothing to do with politics. It's kind of hilarious, but I shouldn't read these things, and I got caught up and started reading these things. Then we're going to stick my tinfoil hat on now. Then I started really looking at something. As I was going through the videos, it started going through the 1%, how the 1% live. It's a handful of people in our country that run this country. A lot of people don't want to hear that because it's kind of connected to the politics, because they are the ones that pay the politicians to get their things passed for themselves, kind of thing. It's not a conspiracy theory or anything. This is real stuff. And I made a comment on a show a couple of podcasts ago. Oh yeah, when it comes to the voting, people need to, it's really hard because people like to tie themselves connected to these wealthy people because they would like to consider themselves in that status. Whether they make $100,000 a year or $200,000 a year in their lives, they want to put themselves with these people, and these people have absolutely nothing in common with the rest of the nation. They don't care, and I was watching these videos. They really don't care. It's all about their world. Their world is very small. And I was watching and I was like, it was just getting kind of blown away. But then I got depressed. I started getting really depressed, which is kind of silly because those kind of things don't matter to me. Wealth does not matter to me, but it was just the concept of, everyone's station in life. It was just kind of those conflicting things in my head. And then I started thinking about the very poor areas of the world who have it even worse than me, and then I'm complaining about this. That's my struggle. It's like, try not to complain, because I'm like, there's always, I'm not going to complain. At least I was born in America. I have a lot more than other people in other worlds, and who am I to want this? Who am I to want to do this kind of thing? And I don't know if that's part of the European thought, like, know your station in life. You know what I mean? Like, this is your station, accept it kind of thing. Because then in America, it's like, it doesn't matter what your station is. You can always change your stars kind of thing, right? The same thing. So I was battling this in my head, and I'm like, why am I thinking of this crap? I'm thinking of all this stuff. And now that I think about it, now I'm talking, I should have just took my Ativan. I decided, okay, we're going to have to stop this, because this has been going on for like 2 days, all right, for my mind. And I know part of it is that medication wearing off, so it's kind of messing with me. The medication they gave me is activated in the brain, right? So it's getting my brain to shut off all my hormones and things like that. Well, now that it's wearing off, I think it's just all going back to haywire. Again, like, that's what I've been living with the last 3 years. So I'm battling this thing. But then I took a nap. I was like, okay, I can't handle this. I got to lay down. I took a nap, and when I woke up, like, for 5 minutes, and I don't know if anybody's ever had this happen, kind of like when you're between the dream state and being awake, and everything made sense. Like, everything just got quiet in my mind, and everything made sense. And sorry, I had a burp. And then when I woke up, what the hell am I doing, right? What am I doing? And what I mean is just in my life in general, because I have a big birthday coming up in a couple months, right? That too, that's been on my mind too. And I don't know why it is. It's probably because it's a milestone of where I am in my life, looking back at what have I achieved. And then that too, I was battling this, God, I haven't done shit, right? Like, I haven't done a damn thing. Like, all the goals I had, I'm just barely now accomplishing. And then I started, like, kind of pep talking myself, like, well, and okay, what were you doing? Oh, okay, I was raising children. I was working full time. I was going to school full time. In hindsight, I didn't waste it, but for some reason, I feel like I wasted it. I started cleaning out, one of the closets, because I'm trying to get rid of, not trying to get rid of, but trying to stash all my canvases, because I want my place to look somewhat decent. I'm rearranging this one area that's kind of camera ready for the crafting thing. And so I've been cleaning out this area, but I got stuff all over the place. So I'm trying to get it all into the closets so I don't see it. So I found this book, and it was a diary of some type that I wrote about 10 years ago, maybe even 15 years ago. And I started looking through it, and all these goals I had, and I realized I did accomplish some of them. I just forgot about them because it wasn't out in the open during the moves. I just kind of forgot about this thing. I had some clarity, and I was like, okay, that's it. No more messing around. And I'm not saying that my podcasting has wasted my time or anything like that. I'm not trying to say that, but I am trying to say that it's kind of like enough. I need to start to focus and get this stuff done now, kind of thing, because these are the things I wanted to do in my life, and I had to put down, is it something that I could live with? If I don't finish this one goal, will I be okay with it? Will I ever look back and think, damn, I could have done that? There are some goals that, no, I won't be okay with it, because if I didn't at least try, it will bother me. There are a couple of goals that bother me to this day that I could kick myself for, that I wish I followed through on, but I got sidetracked due to relationships or hurting somebody's feelings, which is not bad, I guess, but in a way it was for me, because I had to make a choice. The thing with me being single, when I made the choice because I felt that my goals were more important. And in order for me to get these goals, I had to be alone. So I made this choice because I already spent so many years of my life pleasing somebody else. So I made the choice, and during that time, I ended up with some of the health problems coming up, and I think I just got kind of sidetracked and everything. And so I guess that's where I'm at now, Not that anybody asked, but that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm starting to feel better, but I'm not. Okay, but still, it's like either I just go ahead and do this sick and all, just try my best, just give up and just accept this, because the battle in my head won't let it go. And I don't know if it's something tugging me toward it or if there's a reason for it. Then I started cleaning the thing out a little bit more. I found my books, and I started rewriting. I have 2 books that I've been trying to write, and I was trying to rewrite them because I didn't know what happened to the original thing. Well, I found the original today, because a lot of the research I had was on those first 2 books. Putting it together, I just lost it, and I thought they were permanently gone. I was just, oh my God, this just changed everything. It's got to be 10 years in between the last time I saw those books. With my knowledge 10 years later, then I was like, okay, so maybe there was a reason for it. The knowledge I have now compared to then, I see my mistakes and how I could change it and make it better, kind of thing. I guess that's what I'm saying. I'm going to use that, because the strange thing is that this is my personal pep talk, okay? I'm kind of talking to myself without looking crazy. But what's so neat is, as I started picturing the whole thing, and when I try to organize, I actually draw to organize my thoughts. I actually have to draw a picture with a graph for me to put it together in my mind, or else it's all jumbled, really, so many thoughts are jumbled. It kind of worked out, and then I realized that the last 8 years of these podcasts and the things I talk about are relevant to what I've been writing about before. And so it's all coming together, and now I'm thinking, that's what I'm supposed to do. Once I was okay with that, I fell asleep, and I just woke up, and now I have a massive headache. I just took a couple Tylenol, but I got a massive headache, and I don't know how to go about this. I'm just like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. So by New Year's Eve, I will have at least one of them done and put on Kindle. Be done, at least have that done. And as far as the school stuff, that too started messing with me too, because I was like, okay, then why am I going to school? What the hell am I doing? Because that too, it's like I'm I'm only 6 months away from being complete with my program. What am I doing? Like, why am I completing this program? Because I want to do this other thing, and I want to finish my art. And I'm just like so stressed the hell out. And I know somehow they work all together. I just can't figure it out. Then I started watching videos, trying to see if anybody else has this. And I guess it just comes down to steps. Kind of like I've been telling everybody else, hey, I can't take my own advice, but I tell everybody else, just take baby steps, get your goals, refocus your mind and all this stuff. So that's what I've been doing, but it made me so damn depressed that now my body is like all messed up. See, these are the problems geniuses have. This is what happens when you're brilliant. When you're creative and you're an inventor, this stuff, your head goes crazy, because this is why. You just get so many things. And then I was depressed about that too, because it's like, when I made that choice, and what I mean by that is the last relationship ended, I was broken. And that's when I started, a couple years later, I started podcasting, which was part of my therapy. And that's why it was based on mental health. Someone always makes fun of me on here about that. But that was a very critical time, and a lot of the stuff I talked about were symptoms of depression and bipolar and stuff like that. And the doctors kind of misdiagnosed me, but I'm kind of glad they did, because they had helped me learn the symptoms and learn about those illnesses for other people in my life. But at the time, I couldn't figure it out, because the symptoms of depression and being bipolar are very similar to anemia. And I didn't know I had anemia until 3 years ago, right? Which made sense, because once I got that under control, all that went away. So the symptoms are very similar. Yeah, so I had to go through a big process to get to where I was at. And I started thinking, well, how come other people, why can't I be like regular people? Either it's just my mind playing tricks with me, because it seems like regular people can be happy. They could go to work, they could come home, kick back, watch TV, go out on the weekend here and there, come back. They're happy, they have their girlfriends, boyfriends, they have kids, baby mamas, they have all this stuff happening, and they're still happy, like they're still able to, that's enough for them. Like they want nothing else. They're totally fine. Yeah, they have dreams of this and this, but not really. It doesn't keep them up at night. Me, it keeps me freaking up at night. Like, it literally keeps me up at night. It's like I have this thing in my head saying, I gotta do this. This is a goal, and I have to do it. I have to do it. And so I'm always battling this damn things in my head with the goals. And I know there's other people like this. It's not everybody. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't understand how this became more important to me than the average relationship, family, lifestyle. So I started thinking about that today too. Because to be honest, I don't miss it at all. So I guess the reason why I'm saying this too is, like, if I suddenly disappear, this is kind of what I'm doing. All right. I'm pretty sure I'm going to make some changes, like, to some of my sites, even more so. And I'm actually going to delete some sites, just in case somebody cares or wants to know. That's what I'm doing, because I am going to just go ahead and try to get these other goals done, because the one main goal I have is the videos. They're teaching videos. So I guess in a way I'm still using my degree. I shouldn't be hard on myself on that. But yeah, the teaching degree. Then I saw this article today about their need for teachers, and so I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. Like, I'm just finishing my program, and I guess there are several states that are so desperate for teachers right now, they are accepting people without credentials as full-time teachers. And the other day I was talking about, like, when you want to be a sub, you don't need a credential. So that's why you're having all these problems coming up in the news, because these people aren't fingerprint, their backgrounds aren't checked, they're not going through the training. They just hire them right out of college, with any kind of bachelor's degree. I mean, you can have any kind of bachelor's degree and teach. I guess they got rid of tons of teachers, and here in California it was something like 22,000 teachers, or they're trying to fill by September, or jobs that they're trying to fill by September. Kentucky was a big one. I think it was Kentucky. Oklahoma was a big one. There was a couple other states. I know Arizona, they're like begging for art teachers. I don't know why. What's wrong with their art stuff, but they're always begging for art teachers. So maybe it's not so bad, I haven't totally wasted the time that I've taken trying to get myself together kind of thing. But I guess when I woke up, I was like, all right, it's like it just hit me like now, I got to do it now. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like suddenly it was like no more time. You're not wasting any more time. But I'm happy. Like in one way, I'm like all happy because it's like, yes, I'm getting there. And but another way, I'm like depressed because it's like I'm so fucking old now. Like, do I even have time? Like maybe that's what's depressing me. It's like I just wasted 8 years of my life doing fucking podcast. I could have been getting shit done, but I guess I have been slowly. It's just, it's not as fast as I wanted, But I guess it all worked out. I mean, I really technically didn't waste it. I just started like building it up. Okay, I just talked myself into feeling better. I feel better now. Thank you guys. If anybody's listening, thank you. I do feel better now. I guess I wasn't lazy. Because that's what I was thinking. Like, did I just waste my life? Okay, so that's what I meant. This show is like 80% personal